Tickety boom. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. This is Teal with the Arcane Bear. Grateful to have you with us again today. I'm feeling a little extra rock star, and after looking at the screen so much, and I got no blue glasses, so this is what we're going with today. Man, oh man, Matic has been on absolute fucking fire. Is that how you say it? Something like this. And it just goes to show what a token can do when there is very, very little supply left on the exchanges. Volatility to the upside. Check Moon Rocket Boots, and we are already off and on our way, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. We're going to be diving in. Let's see where we're at right now. Oh, yeah. For those of you yesterday that did subscribe to the channel, first off, thank you. We broke over 35,000 followers. We're Bear Family Strong. I'm not going to call you followers. You guys are all smart enough to lead your own lives. I'm just here enjoying the journey and sharing my learning process with you. And if you have not yet, click on that subscribe button and give us a little thumbs up while you're at it. Next piece of news. Wow, Matic at $2 and what is this? 55 cents right now. Jesus. Just nonstop, kind of a fun situation. So we've been following Matic for quite some time. For the last 2.5 years, this has been one of the ones that was in our venture capital research bag, and it very clearly shows why sticking around in a trade for a long period of time can pay off astronomically. 19,000%. It's about a 200x. That's twice 100x. In case you didn't know, that's 2 times 100x. Woo! Absolute fire coming from Matic. And there's a reason for that. But more importantly, understanding the supply and demand characteristics. Now, again, you know, a lot of you guys are like, well, when should I take profits? Really, you should be more worried again about getting in at the beginning of the bull market than getting in late and taking profits now. This is why we suggest reading books like 100 Baggers or Dan Dow, really doing your research and understanding that any good investor shows up for decades, not just a few years, and gets rich. Now, some of them do get lucky, and I try to remind everyone to basically ignore those people who've gotten lucky. They're pretty easy to tell who they are. But nonetheless, Matic over 200x feels like luck. But it's also good play. We you know, again, we had Matic, Fetch, Stellar, 1 on our list, and they've all done over 50x. The fact that Matic has done 200 is just ridiculous. But again, it's also one of the reasons why I don't ever go over when to take profits, because I don't know who would have expected it would go up 200x. I had sold around 70% of my position around the 70-cent mark. Bad idea. And again, to see it go up, what is this? Basically another 200% from that is also one of the reasons why more than profit taking, it's about entries, ladies and gentlemen. And for those of you that don't understand that, quit whining like a little freaking baby and just understand that you probably have a few decades in life here. And it's important to notice that long-term story. So why has Matic gone up so incredibly much? Well, let's take a look at 1inch. So 1inch has been doing quite well. It's in its nice reaccumulation range. And if we take a look in the news, what we see is there are all these fun things taking on. So 1inch Network increases liquidity sources by expanding to Polygon. So for those of you that don't know, because I've almost forgotten this apparently, that Polygon is now Matic, or the product formerly known as Matic is called Polygon. So they've expanded their capabilities. Again, the throughput here, the liquidity, and the cost of actually trading has made these layer 2 aggregates significantly powerful, right? And that's the whole point. Makes Uniswap look like trash when you're spending hundreds of dollars on Ethereum fees, when by going through 1inch and these liquidity aggregators, you can now go through this secondary infrastructure and use that to your advantage. So after 1inch has network expanded to the Binance Smart Chain, a massive request from the community to make Polygon also available via swapping on 1inch. So currently the 1inch aggregation protocol is already deployed on Polygon. And then while 1inch liquidity protocol and 1inch governance protocol are expected to expand to Polygon over the coming weeks. So again here, 1inch is an aggregator, so it allows you to move through these different areas of liquidity. And Polygon, or Matic, is a layer 2 solution. So shout out to 1inch for bringing another DEX on deck to move through these areas, especially with the cheapness. I think it's like, it cost me like 60 cents the last time I played on Polygon. So that was fantastic to see as well. I think there's just going to be a growing aggregation of this as well. So in terms of market capitalization, Matic, because I'm probably just It's gonna stuck calling it. Polygon is the 28th largest cryptocurrency protocol with a total network valuation of 6.9 billion, according to CoinGecko. Kunz has been Kunz definitely didn't say that right. The successful expansion of the protocol, 1inch users are now able to switch easily between 1inch Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, and Polygon for speed and lower transaction fees. So this is hugely powerful. Again, 1inch here just had its SOS. It's moving into its backup phase, and Matic is in its face melting moments. And we've talked about these many times before and how I thought that we would be starting to get into the face melty moment in the market. And here it was. So we've been charting Matic because I still have a position there, just not my full position. And this first area here, which we've gone over the last month, our nice SOS in our backup phase, another SOS and a backup. And these are extremely important to keep an eye on. And we've gone over this many, many times before. Doing your due diligence and your study is extremely important. For those of you that are overly emotional traders making all the wrong mistakes by jumping from one place to the other, we have the cure for that, and it is found in our private mastermind group. So if you consider yourself adventurous and like trying new things, do not hesitate to go down to arcanebear.com/private in the links down below and sign up for a private newsletter, because there is absolutely no risk. We will give you a refund if you're not happy. But you must remember, we covered Matic for 3 fucking years while it basically stayed at a penny. Between 1 and 3 pennies, right? So for 3 years, you had to be smart enough to stick around, know that the research we're doing was well defined, and then be patient enough for the long-term story. Again, this is why the people usually get it wrong, is they show up halfway through the market, they start chasing gains, they jump from one position to another. Don't do that. You're going to only lose money. People trying to trade like that make fucking way less money than those of us who just know to buy right, sit tight, and enjoy the goddamn ride. Let's take a look at Solana as well here. Very interesting structure. Look at the similarities between Matic and Solana here. Let's put them side by side. Here we're looking at Matic. We have a nice rising, widening megaphone pattern. We've talked about these being one of our favorites out the back end of the extension of our reaccumulation, or of our accumulation patterns, and then into 2 reaccumulation patterns before absolutely going nutso. And here again, take a look with what we see on, let's get rid of my cloud here. It's a little distracting. Bango. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Solana also showing us this really nice, we'll just increase the depth of this here. So first and foremost, we started back here between the beginning of 2021 and February in our rising, widening megaphone pattern, one of our favorites that leads into usually quite explosive gains. Number 1 trading range, number 2 trading range complete here as well. So Matic rising megaphone pattern, trading range number 1. And then trading range number 2 before going absolutely ballistic, right? So I'm very excited about Solana. Most of our private members took their entries into Solana here with me around March 15th. I was late to recognizing Solana being valuable, but I'm never gonna put down the chance to jump in the fun when we know where we are. Took this trading range, and already on Solana we are up around 330%. So feeling great about Solana here as well. Let's take a look at Serum. Serum is also offering us some of this very similar data. We'll go to the 4-hour. We'll get rid of my little cloud and band here because it definitely makes it look messy as shit. And we'll take a look. So Serum. Now this is a bit of a shortened time frame. There's actually quite a big run up that's taken off this chart because currently I'm looking at the perpetual futures. But here we go. Let's just look at this particular trading range. So we have seen one nice reaccumulation trading range with Serum here as well. And then I believe we are forming the second trading range for Serum here too. So we had our buying climax into our SOS, our primary support, we had our primary support show up here, our buying climax, our first shakeout. We'll probably see our first automatic rally. We're still probably a little ways into seeing Serum go the full way here. But we are still holding nicely above our rising gradient trend line. So for those of you that are new, first off, I generally ignore everybody. A bunch of you shared a video by some kid using the Wyckoff distribution pattern. And first off, I just think he's wrong, period. Good on him for finding Wyckoff though. Wyckoff is the shit. If you actually figure out how to use it, the Wyckoff trading ranges are absolutely amazing. But more importantly, these rising gradient bottoms, what I'm now highlighting with my yellow lines here, are extraordinarily powerful. You can see the horizontal trading range, which is what prompted the move to enter this decision around $6 here, right at the point of control. We were up around 130% on that trade already. Now, again, guys, here's a great moment for me to make a fool of myself because look, I said show up at the right time. I definitely did not show up at the right time for Serum. I missed Serum, Solana, and FTT token, but I wasn't afraid to jump in a little late because I know how to use these trading ranges. And instead of thinking that this is a distribution pattern, which most people probably make the mistake of, I can see that these are clear reaccumulation patterns and that we have a lot of upside still ahead of us. I suspect we get to around $24 for Serum. Okay, Ethereum. Ethereum has moved into a new trading range. Seeing as it took so long in the last one, and the volatility here has actually increased quite significantly. Again, we can go back, we can look at our previous trading ranges. Here's our SOS, our backup phase, and then boom, another big run of around 100%. But here we are at the start of a new trading range. So we hit what's likely our first primary shakeout here as well. So I suspect that Ethereum is going to continue higher. Now, how much higher? I don't even want to schedule a guess, but $8,000 is what I said back when we were around $200. So you can go back, you can rewind all the way through my videos back to around April, May, June, July, August. And we said, here's our pathway for Ethereum to get to $8,000. Now that we're at $4,000, there's not a whole lot of room for upside anymore. Maybe we go to 12,000, but even still, that's not a whole lot of room for upside, considering we're already up extraordinarily high in these positions itself as well. So I've actually reduced some of my risk on Ethereum. I sold some of them the other day when we were around $4,400, around there. But look, since our spring, all the way back here, Jesus Christ, it feels like forever ago. I gotten like 18 years older in the bull market. 4,000%. That's a 40x gain from Ethereum alone. So that's 4 times better than Bitcoin. So for all the Bitcoin maximalists out there, haha, you suck. And not only that, a lot of the older, longer Bitcoin maximalists are starting to realize that Bitcoin is basically boring. And if you really want to know why I think it's boring, you can go to, first off, follow us on Twitter. You can go to arcanebear.com. Actually, I suggest doing this. Go to arcanebear.com. Let's show you what this website looks like. We've got a great website, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best website. There's no other websites like it. And go to, let's see, About Us. Yes, this is where we keep it, on the About Us page. And is it this little one here? I think it's this one. Crypto Slate or Be in Crypto. I think it's Crypto Slate. Ooh, I might have to run off here in a minute. Bitcoin has lost its altruism. That's what the one was. So this is a nice article we wrote about a month or two ago, just talking about how Bitcoin has basically become boring to me and how I'm more interested in Ethereum and how I was generally overweight Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. And these are the reasons why. Bitcoin is basically a point-to-point transaction. Ethereum has all these great features. My mechanic just showed up to drop off the truck, got the truck fixed and all the turbo I'm going to say something silly like I got my turbo refilled. I'm joking, by the way. I know you don't refill a turbo, but I thought it'd be fun to say. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to jump out here. We'll finalize with this. I think this is a spring for Bitcoin. Primarily speaking, I think a lot of people have made the mistake that thinking this is distribution. I do not believe it's distribution, especially when a bunch of people who have never traded Wyckoff before start talking about this being a distribution. It just like gives me the fervor to be like, yeah, he's wrong. And with that in mind, thank you all for joining us. This is Tia with the Arcane Bear, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Tell you what, I've got a podcast tonight with the Mercurial Finance guys, and we'll see you again on the next episode. Bang.